Hello everyone, welcome to round number 4 of season 23 here in Ultimate League as we find ourselves then in Slovakia. Having a bit of a redemption season is definitely fed me as he's now leads with 74 points and he's been leading since the opening round as he's now 19 points ahead of Kubo, who now jumps into second place after winning in the previous week as he hit the jackpot with the rain. And then you see F1 Fan then in third place, and then you got Flix now down in P4 as he was quite unlucky with the rain and could only finish P9 in his previous race. And then we see Yoa as he's been racing as a reserve driver, but that is going to change as he's now got a promotion into the main seat as he's definitely been doing a very good job as a reserve driver, and at the same time he'll be sure is not raced yet in this season in Ultimate League, so essentially the Italian and the South African will then be swapping positions. So Yoa is now going to be a main driver for full force while Bishione gets then demoted into the reserve seats, and as you can see that is definitely for a very good reason as we see full force leading the way in the constructors, and they definitely have a very golden opportunity to win the constructors pretty much since the first time where they joined back in season 2 where they got their only constructors world title, and now they finally, after all these years, they finally have that chance of winning that title again, as we then see LSA in second place, then being just 5 points ahead of Stargold as they climbed up into third place, overtaking one time as once again they could only race with Flix in the previous race, and Flix only finished in P9 due to his bad luck. But now one key factor now is that Figueira, after having his free race ban, is finally going to be back, and so we should expect to see a very strong one-time lineup in each race. And yeah, so now this is where the team is going to have to watch out for this team, as there's a good reason why they are multiple time constructors champions, and yeah, they're definitely going to be fighting for that constructors once again as they are now still 70 points behind Full Force, which is definitely a very big gap, but let's see if they can come back or not. In the previous 3 rounds, all of the feature tracks that were raced on, they will all have 2 things in common. The first thing is that they were all real-life circuits, and the second thing is that they've all been raced before. So now we got here a track that is now going to be making its debut, and it's also a fictional track made by band. And we're talking about then the circuit of Srpske Pleso. It's a track located towards the north of Slovakia, very close to the border with Poland, and it is a place surrounded by the Tatra mountains, and it is definitely a very nice vacation spot, especially if you like to have that contact with nature. But as we see then at this circuit here, it is a track that consists of 15 corners, and despite being a fictional track, it actually does have its own corner names, although not really all of them. But either way, it is a track that starts very simple at the beginning, but then towards the end we see that chicane, the Chalet chicane. There is a very complicated section there between turns 10, 11, 12, 13, and that's going to be, I think, the main challenge for this track, and where we could see the drivers making a lot of mistakes. Now, one thing that the drivers will be hoping for this race is the rain, that the weather does not becomes crazy like it did in the previous round, as we saw a lot of weather changes in the first few laps. So that is something that Chad will be hoping for, is that the weather comes down this time around. And either way, let's then get ourselves into the qualifying session. Okay, so here we are then here in the qualifying. We see Fatpi on our screen, the current championship leader. Okay, does have a pretty nice cap at the front, and left been a bit of a redemption arc for him, as he's been leading essentially since round 1. But yeah, we see the drivers then making their first laps. Let's see who's more towards the front, and we see Flix. Ooh, Lexus! Look at him, he seems being second place right now. Can he survive this chicane though? I think, yes he can. So look at Lexus, absolutely flying. Unless he somewhat jumped the start, who knows? That could be a possibility, but let's see now the lap times here. And it is then Flix right at the front. As we see then Figo in second, so 1, 2, 4, one time once again. And I guess that is something that I'm gonna have to get used to say, now that we have Figo then getting back. But as we see then, do we have any big names in the bottom 9? Yes, we have. We got Kubo in P12. It definitely needs to improve on the second lap. We see Albono and Piggy tied, so this could be a problem if they continue to be tied. I don't know what would the procedure be, but as we see right now, it is going to be then Flix with the Q1 pole position, which is not going to matter all that much. But as we see then, the drivers get eliminated. We got both Lynx Racing here, Yuris and Polak, and then we got Kubo. The major surprise here, getting eliminated in Q1. Then we got Shiruri 8th second place, followed by Albono and Lexus, who are tied, as well as Piggy. And then we got Corvid also out, and Fundme. So quite a few big names get eliminated here in Q1. So getting through is then going to be Suzuch, then it's Kato with Yoa. Then we see Johnny Fu, Nikhil, Ludwig, Figo, F1 Fan, and then Flix. So yeah, F1 Fan definitely surprising us here. So that is quite nice, and yeah, let's then get ourselves into Q2. Okay, so let's then get ourselves into Q2, as we see the 9 drivers now left to fight for this pole position. And yeah, we see here Yoa, always a bit stuck at the start there. But looking then towards the front, we see Flix right now starting pretty well, but of course that was done before this lap even began. So yeah, now they got themselves standing to turn 4, then they're gonna get themselves into the valley. Then you got the third 6 that doesn't have any names. But yeah, then you got this little section here. It's a very interesting corner there. Can be done in a very fast way. It's called the shore. Then you got the chalet chicane. This is definitely most challenging part. Then you got the reach as well. So those 2 sections there are really complicated to make, and I think that's where drivers might do some mistakes. But yeah, some major eliminations so far on this qualifying, as we see now Flix on provisional pole, then 500s ahead of Yoa and Figo, who are tied. As then we see Johnny Fu then in P4, then it's F1 Fan now in P5. He got second in Q1, but so can he do it all over again? As we see now Figo then here towards the front, but as we got then is Flix once again looking pretty good, but maybe Figo could be on an improvement here. So far it's been a very close qualifying, and let's see who's going to be taking that pole position, and it's going to be F1 Fan in the end. So amazing stuff there from F1 Fan. The Romanian then takes pole position. So let's then see here this starting grid. Then got F1 Fan started on pole with Ludwig in second place, front row start for him, and then we see Flix in second place, followed in by Johnny Fu and Figo, who are tied with the 35 on 85. Then you see Yoa there in P6, followed by Suzuch, and then you got Nikhil and Carlo in P9. And then following the top 9, you got then Fatmi then starting in P10, followed by Corby. Then you got Lexus ahead of the Vicars, you got Albono and Piggy. Then you see Juni in P15, followed by Kubo. Then you got both Lynx Racing drivers here, Polak and Eurist. So without any further ado, let's get ourselves in with this 40 lap around Stripscape Plaza with 10% rain. Okay, so here we go then. We see F1 Fan starting at the front. We're gonna have a cloudy start. And here we go, a lot of drivers on the soft tires. We see F1 Fan who's gonna lead us the way. He's gonna have the sideline into turn 2, which will be very crucial then as he gets himself now into station. As we got Flix then in third place, followed by Johnny Foot. And you got Figo and Gioa then coming now into the valley here. As we see Johnny Foot trying to go side by side there. Figo with the double overtake as he got full rain coming in already. And it's right on lap 1, so it's not really going to affect anyone, as they're all going to have the same amount of pit stops. There's we see now full rain, so the drivers will have to master the wet pace. As we see then F1 Fan is going to be diving into the pits. Everyone, I think no one's going to be risking it today. And here they all go then. It's going to be a bit of a busy pit lane, as it is to be expected, with everyone pitting right at the end of the first lap. As we see now F1 Fan there with Figo now trying to get himself into the lead of the race, and there he goes with Figo with an amazing start. Flix now trying to take second place. Ludwig is fighting though. It's now the one times go side by side, but it is Figueira then keeping the lead with 10 flicks now in second. So once again, we got that one time 1-2, which we are getting very used to, of course, in these last few seasons. Of course, lately that was exactly the case in this season so far, as Figueroa now finally starting his season. As you see then Ludwig then keeping up with the one times. I think the others may already be out of that slipstream range, or maybe not, as you see Johnny Fu just trying to join back. But he's doing his home race today. As we see, yeah, there he goes, and Slovakian then in P4, but as you see, maybe losing that slipstream already. In the meantime, we got some battling here at the back. We see Kubo was trying to gain some positions back, as he came from a very good race in the last week. Now today just trying to get a much better result, as we see now him passing now Juroni. We see Polak right behind, maybe trying to go side by side here around the outside. Can he make the move there, the Polish driver? Actually, we got this Polish civil war here, as we see also Juroni is watching all of it. We see Corvit, a massive mistake causes a bit of a pile-up, and now we see all the teammates colliding. You see Corvit pushing his teammate by accident there. No, there is an RMC disaster. As we see them now fighting with the Mayhems. In the meantime, I think this is all played well for Kubo. Now find himself in P10, trying to then catch up to the others. As we got then Futby, who's currently on the Inters, now in P5. And now we see Ledwig with the mistake there. Oh, there is a bit of a disaster there. We see now Figo continuing to lead the way from his teammate Flix. And we got now Johnny Fu jumping into third place on his home Grand Prix. So we see the grandstands now just rising and celebrating his home hero then, as he already has a race win. And I think 2 podiums up to his name. And today that could be a third podium. As we see now Ludwig with another mistake again. As we see now Futmi also going off the track there, the championship leader, now down in P7. We see Johan now in P6. But yeah, Futmi though did recover some positions. He started in P10. So being in P7 might not be all that bad. Whereas in the meantime we see then Rich sort of closes. We see now F1 Fenden getting past the American. He goes into P4. And now we see the rain slowing down, but it is still rain nonetheless. So nothing will really change. Yeah, there's still the same conditions here. As we see now Juroni get ahead of Corey, trying to maybe find a way past Piggy. As he now is going to try maybe go up the inside. And there he goes then. That Ricard Auto then gets overtaken. In the meantime we see it more towards the front. It is now Ludwig then in third place. So we got a bit of a battle here for the last step of the podium. In the meantime we see also the full forces maybe swapping positions, or maybe not, as we see Suduc, then the Bulgarian. Right behind we see now Yoa with a little mistake. Now the Frenchman gets himself into P6 there on the Inters. And now looks like gonna have some clouds, but the rain is going to end. Let's see if it's actually going to end, because obviously we still got this little period where the track is still dry. I mean, the track is still wet. And so the drivers still need to stay out and then wait for the right time to pit for the dry tires. In the meantime, we see Johnny Fu maybe now trying to take third place. And there he goes once again, the fans celebrating. The Owls are swirling for Johnny Fu today. And now we see you, the skies will be opening. So that should really be the sign that the rain will indeed be over. So the track should be now drying up faster, as we see. In the meantime, looks like Flix has managed to catch his teammate, so we may have a bit of a one-time battle for the win. As maybe for now they're just going to slipstream. I think they're gonna be very pleased with the news here that these drivers right behind them are all battling each other. Or at least they were in a few laps ago. As we see F1 Fan and they're in P5. In the meantime, we kind of have to watch some other battles. We see Kado and Piggy. And they're really trying to make sure that I don't miss any battles, especially towards midfield, who usually does not get as much coverage as the front. In the meantime, we see you. There he goes to Dutch, then into P7. He gets past Yoa. Then we got Nikil there. in P9. As yeah, now they're gonna be driving in towards the shore. There's this very large sweeper there to the left, as we see Ulloa now with a mistake there on the Chalet chicane. And yeah, in the meantime, there he goes. Ooh, Fatwi with a mistake there though. Losing the position to Suduc. So there goes then the Bulgarian into P6. And interesting, everyone just ignoring. Oh, Suduc is left! Oh my god, that was a bit out of nowhere. Did he just race quit? I think he did. We saw the message of him leaving the race. He did the game, so he did it on his own accord apparently. And was, I guess, in last place there. And yeah, he did have some unfortunate incidents with his teammate as well, so he's not gonna be happy. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure there might be some heated arguments later on, but as we see now, we got Teflon Fan then in third place. So this driver has been swapping positions. As we see now Ludwig going off the track there, but Johnny Fu cannot put a feet though. But yeah, very heated battle here. This could give a chance for the likes of Sluch and Fatmi to catch up to them, as we see now. Ooh, Ludwig taking third again. So yeah, this is all just helping the one times to just keep their lead at the front, as the gap is now almost 4 seconds, I reckon. 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds, that's pretty much the gap, as we see Fatmi there. Then you got now Kubo then in P8. He got eliminated in Q1 now. He was quite far down as well. I think he qualified on P16, so really gaining a lot of positions so far. I think that's going to be good for his plus minus stat. Essentially the stat that compares your qualifying performance with your race one, and if you gain positions from the race compared to qualifying, then that stat is going to increase, and you gain, you know, those numbers get bigger. But if it's the opposite, if you do better in qualifying than what you do in the race, then those numbers will get reduced, and some of the drivers may actually have negative numbers, of course. But either way, we see, oh my god, Johnny Fu with a very awkward mistake there. Now we see Fatmi and Suduc going side by side. I think Suduc wants to get past because he has he has the faster tire. And now that he goes into Bulgaria, then takes P6, he's very close to the Slovakian right ahead. As yes, we have a lot of Eastern Europe representation here at the front. We see, obviously, Flix, who is from Latvia. We've got Teflon Fan from Romania. Lately he's obviously American, but then you got here the driver from Slovakia, then we got Fatmi, then you got the driver here from Bulgaria, followed by Kubos from Poland. So quite a lot of representation from Eastern Europe, even more than Western Europe. But as we see now, oh my god, I think the teammates were battling there. Flix was trying to take back the race lead, but Figo is persistent there into staying at the front. In the meantime, we see a Fun Fan in third place, and now this group has been reduced to just 2 drivers. As we see Fatmi with the mistake now, and there is exactly what he did not need it. As yeah, I mean, he wanted to just be able to use his own pace in order to catch Johnny Fu right ahead, but with these mistakes he's gonna have to stay behind Suzuki now. And Batley can only get things heated up here. But yeah, maybe he's gonna have to trust the LSA driver just for a bit longer. In the meantime, we see Kubo now in P8 once again. And oh, was that Yola lag? Quite a bit of lag there, but now it seems to be fine. Then we see Carver then running in P11, perhaps so far not really having as good of a season as it was the previous one, as he did have quite a few podiums and he even got a race win. But I think so far his results, I think his best result, let me just check here, seems to be only, yeah, it's the best result so far was P6, so far this is actually his worst his worst race so far. But yeah, looking back at the front, we still got here the teammates very close to each other. We got Flix just behind Figo. But maybe towards the end that's going to change. We will see both of them really having a proper 1v1 battle. As we see also a F1 fan then in P4 with Ludwig there. And yeah, Ludwig definitely having a very nice start to this season. So far he got obviously that DNF in round 1, then he got the podium. And then P7, which I think would have definitely been a much better result. But his tactics of going extremely long on those tires really did hurt him in the end. But then now he finds himself then in P4, F1 fan with a little lag there. And now we see Fatmi once again ahead of Suzuki. Now he might be able to get rid of him finally. Yeah, because Suzuki really having some quite old tires. I think he's gonna have to pit soon. And yeah, there he goes. Nothing too surprising. In the meantime, we see the one times already pitting. And now they're gonna be encountering. They're going to encounter some traffic. And they're probably gonna be hoping that the rain does not come in on this lap, because that would bring at least Stefan Fan, Ludwig, and Johnny Fu back into contention for the race win. But as we see now, Figo does some quick work of Johnny Fu, and now this could be decisive because Flix could be losing Figo here. Let's see right now, Johnny Fu also with the golden opportunity to just gain some time on Ludwig and the F1 Fan. And now we see then Flix finally able to get past the Slovakian. And as you see, who may be staying out, maybe a mistake, or maybe not. As you see, got some clouds. Sometimes that means there could be some range. We see now the gyros going free wide right behind me, as we see Yoa, F1 Fan and Ludwig, but luckily nothing really happened there. But yeah, Yoa went on a hard tire, so obviously he will be going longer on this stint. But yeah, Flix did have that little scare there with Johnny Fu, as he was almost costing him Figueroa's slipstream. Maybe it would not exactly be the end of the road, because Figueroa had a bigger gap on Flix before, and Flix did manage to catch him, so that could indicate that the Latin may have better pace than his teammates. Or it could just indicate that Figueroa made a little mistake, who knows. Sometimes drivers might be better than others in certain moments of the race, and then worse than others in other moments in the race. So that is something that it's also important to have in mind. Sometimes the driver's pace is not exactly constant. As we see them now getting passed through the station. As we see then, I think, yeah, Johnny Fu finally pitting, and as you can see, gets massively undercutted. But now he opts to go for the soft tire, so he wants to catch the others. But it's going to be a bit of a task here. In the meantime, Joe is just betting on the reins right now, because I cannot see any other reason for him to just stay out for this long. And I think this might hurt him a little. Ooh, and now we see the skies opening again, so maybe the rain's not going to show up for now. And that is probably what Joe did not need it. So he's down in P8, he's probably going to lose more positions, but he continues to stay out here. In the meantime, we see Kobo in P9, really not being able to progress all that much. Which does make sense. A lot of the drivers at the front, they're all pretty quick here. Now they're all pretty much separated now. There's no one on the slipstream of another driver. Although we might see Kubo now finally trying to get past the South African, but probably at the worst point. Oh, but somewhat, Yo managed to let him pass easily. And safely as well. But yeah, now we see Johnny also trying to catch Fatmi. He has the fresher and the faster tires, so there he goes, already right at the back of the Frenchman. Now he goes up the inside, and Fatmi does not fight it. And I think these slipstream settings does make things easier. It makes it easier for the swaps, I'd say. Simply because of that, because now the drivers can carry that speed from the slipstream for a bit longer, and I think that just helps a lot with the position swaps. But as you see, Johnny Fu made that mistake. Fatmi is back into P6 there. And that is not what the SCP driver needs right now. Meantime, we see Yo finally going into the pits for another set of hard tires. Is he gonna go into the end there? I feel like he might try to do that. And maybe hope that the rain gives him a helping hand. In the meantime, Johnny Fu finally gets past Fentme again. Now he's gonna be right behind Suzuki. And yes, so Fentme is back on this fight with Suzuki. I think he may have beat it a bit earlier, I think. Yeah, I think he did because he went for the soft tires while Fentme was on the mediums on the previous team. But as we see now, Johnny Fu takes the fastest lap right now. But we got here Bulgaria versus France battle here. They still going side by side. Suzuki around the outside managed to keep the position. Quite nicely done. Ooh, makes a little mistake and Fentme nicely managed to take advantage of that. Now he's going to be trying to keep that slipstream from Johnny Fu now. And can he do it? I think he can. So nicely done there from Fentme. This could definitely allow him to now find himself in this battle for third place, because we got Johnny Fu and F1 Fan not that far away. And I'd argue maybe Johnny Fu's strategy has been a bit of a masterclass there. Because by staying long, he could have potentially benefited from rain. But now he's definitely benefiting from having better tires. As you can see, and there he goes now. Johnny Fu makes quick work of F1 Fan, who doesn't even try to defend there. But maybe Fentme might try to take advantage. As we see F1 Fan still defending though. And now Johnny Fu is going to have to battle Ludwig's ping, of course. So this might be not as simple as it was with the previous overtakes. In the meantime, Fentme is still now defending against F1 Fan. And now there he goes. He takes himself into P5 as we see the clouds coming back. Now Ludwig then in P4, so look at this, Johnny Fu maybe getting away from everyone else here. Yes, I think he's gonna do it, so the fans are absolutely happy with this. The spectators really surprised with his home hero, with their home hero here today. Whereas we see we got Fentme then in P4, maybe very close to Johnny Fu there. As now we got Polak going into the pits. Would be risky though to do it when we see the clouds. It's always not an easy decision, I'd say. But as you see now, we got the one time is now being almost 7 seconds ahead of third place. As we got Johnny Fu then taking P3 on the lowest step of the podium. And I think now they might all pit around the same time, as you see. All of them having some completely dead tires, but I think they're all hesitating right now. Oh, but maybe they should have not done that. And now we see Suzuki, who probably does not have any other option. So he goes into the pits then for the medium, should be his final pit stop. Same with Kubo. In the meantime we see Yao with the little undercut on the Polish driver. I think he's gonna go extremely long on those hard tires to see if maybe the rain helps him or not. Because otherwise he's gonna have some really dead tires towards the end of this race. In the meantime he sees Harvey right ahead of him, but as we see we got this massive battle for third place again. We see now Fentme, actually not for third, it's for P4 because Johnny Fu is the one in third place. So I cannot really forget that. But yeah, Fentme obviously wants to finish as high as possible as he still leads to this championship, but now we see some chaos between the LSAs and Ludwig. Luckily nothing bad happened there, so they all survived. And yeah, so we got this nice four-way battle. We got Fentme, Ludwig, and then Suzuki and F1 Fan. So we got the Flow Force, the Stargold, and an LSA, and both LSAs. And, so yeah, all drivers with liveries made by me, so that is an interesting fact. In the meantime, Carter finally decides to pit with 8 laps to go. If the rain does not appear, this should be his final pit stop. And he goes into the soft tires, and we got Kado and Piggy. I'm not sure if they're really looking to battle each other. I think right now it only makes sense to watch this battle for P4. And maybe on the final few laps you could see then the battle for the lead if the one times actually battle each other. But yeah, maybe the title fight, both title fights might not exactly be on their mind, but I guess they're still gonna do their best until the end. as we got Flow Force definitely not gaining as much points as they've been gaining so far. And the main thing here is that, for instance, look at this, we actually, from P4 until P9, it's the drivers from 3 different teams. It's both Stargoats, both Flow Forces, and both LSAs in here, and this is what could really help One Time in the end, is that these 3 teams could be stealing each other's points, basically. Well, One Time might just get some nice 1-2 finishes and yeah, getting some massive points. So I think the constructors could still be possible for One Time, which might be a little bit bizarre to say, but it would be possible. It's obviously going to be hard, but as we see now, Futmi still now gets himself into P4 again. Ledric's still going to be fighting, and all of this fighting is just playing into the hands of Shanifu, who I think that strategy towards the middle of the race really worked wonders here. Really did make wonders for this race. And yeah, a smart play from him, just go for a slightly different strategy, get the soft tires that would also be fresher tires, and pass all of them, and then just get this little gap, and yeah, they benefit from all of these drivers battling each other. Because that was also why Johnny Fu managed to catch him that easily, because they were battling like crazy. But yeah, in the meantime, we see Suzuki really starting to lose the gap here. He also has slightly worse tires, so that is definitely not going to be great for the Bulgarian. In the meantime, we see Ludwig then getting past Futmi again. Futmi maybe tries to switch back. As he goes around the other side, F1 fan just watching all of it. Now Ludwig's gonna have to go defensive. As we see now Futmi around the other side, and he makes the move there. Nicely done on the valley. They get himself into this straight then. And yeah, really nice racing there. In the meantime, Flix really just watching Figo. But he's perhaps tired of that view from the back of Figueiredo's car. And yeah, definitely wants to take this race win, I reckon, after having such a bad race in the previous week. With the rain not helping and all of that. So I think today that could be a nice redemption arc. But there's Johnny Fu though, definitely being the surprise of this race. I guess he's definitely feeling at home here. And enjoying quite a lot, as yeah, he already has a race win in the previous season. He also had a pre-free finish in a Tatra, I think, which is relatively close to the place that we are racing today, interesting enough. And so yeah, I guess he just likes to race on this region in general. But in the meantime, we see now F1 fan getting past Fantomy. So this battle for third place still continues, but now we see Flix in the lead of the race now. I missed the overtake sadly, but now we got in the final lap of this race now. We're gonna see the One Times battling each other in the end. We see Figo taking back the race lead now. Flix is down in second place. Is he gonna try and find a way past though? That is the main question. As they've been slipstreaming each other since the beginning of the race pretty much, as we see now Flix trying to find a way past, but he cannot do it. As Figueiredo made a little mistake there. But now there you go then, into the shore now. They're gonna get into the chalet chicane. How will things go now? Figo makes a little mistake. Flix cannot find a way past. I think he's waiting for the final straight here. Who's gonna be taking the wing here? Is it gonna be Figo or Flix? And he takes the inside now! And he takes the win in the end! Amazing performance from Flix. He gets his redemption done. And Johnny Fu will take the podium on his home race. In the meantime, we see Futmi able to just win on this battle for P4 in the end. And wow, what an interesting race. Lots of action that we got here. Because obviously the previous race was a crazy one, but we barely got any action. But today though, it was a very different story. The rain didn't really intervene with the strategies all that much. Everyone obviously had around the same amount of pit stops. Apart from Yoa, who only went for a free stopper there. But I don't think that really affected him. I think he was destined to finish in P9 in the end, either way. But yeah, what a race this was. Very good one. Huge battle for third, which then became the battle for P4, and then we got also this final 1v1 showdown between Flix and Figo, and what an overtake from Flix, just taking inside on the exit of the final turn, and then taking the race win. So here we go then, we got then Flix then taking the race win, then we got Figo then on his return taking second place, but it is then a 1-2 for one time yet again, and then you got Scuderia Pericaro getting a driver in third place here from Johnny Fu on his home race, taking also the fastest lap. Then you got Funtme then in P4, followed in by F1 Fan, then you got Ludwig and Suluch, then you got Kubo, Yo and Corvid then closing the top 10. Then you got Nikhil, followed in by Kado and Albono, as well as Piggy, and then you got Lexus in P15, and then you got the league's racing drivers, then Yuris, then just ahead of Polak, then you got Journey, who retired today. So that is pretty much it for from the race results, so let's then get ourselves into the post-race interviews. Okay, so here we are then at the post-race interviews. We're going to be starting then with the race winner today. And yeah, considering what happened a week ago, I'm guessing that today you gotta be feeling really good.
Yes. I mean, today bro, I feel like almost everyone came really unprepared, uh, like pace-wise and practice-wise. So, I mean, yeah, I'm happy. That will help us in the constructors. So yeah. Also, I did get carried by Figo, nevertheless. But I just overtook him on the last turn, and people saying is that he let me have it. Fuck you, because I clipped it, and I've proved that he did not give it to me, and I just overtook him. But yeah, great race. Sadly, no pole position or fastest lap, but you know, 1-2 is still the best we can do.
Yeah, definitely taking a good amount of points, and also the fact that LSA and SGP and Flowforce, they all just stealing each other's points, perhaps that may give you some hope of getting the
Uh,
constructors at least.
yeah, I mean, this is a result we needed, you know. Because you know, first race it wasn't bad, you know, P2, second race first, but then I feel like the third race really gave us a reality check to actually perform and try to do good, and of course today's result just showed that we can you know, still win the constructors.
Right, so thanks. Then is Figo here?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
I'm here.
Alright, so nice little return here. Obviously, you probably could not wait to race after that free race ban. But either way, you came back, got second place, 1-2 for the team, and so yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Just felt. I think I have food poisoning at the moment, so I don't really feel that well. I was kind of dizzy the whole time, so I couldn't really do that well in qualifying. I think my lap wasn't that good, and but the race went pretty well. Um, yeah, Monty is great. Maybe yeah, missed out on the pole and the fastest lap points, but we took the 1-2 at the end. Yeah, the winners is done a bit unfortunate. I mean, realistically, maybe I could have told him to like fuck off and let me win. But I don't know. I might as well just fight for it. And yeah, I lost. I made a mistake. Kind of. I was trying to be a bit gamey on the last lap, and I just went wide. So I think he would have overtaken me anyway. Though I think slip overtake on the last bit was the best option. But yeah. Pace was good despite me being really fucking sick. So yeah, we'll see how I can do in the next ones. But I feel really good about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask if you feel like things could have been different if you defended inside at the exit of the last turn, but I guess you already answered that. So yeah, thank you, and have a nice recovery as well, because yeah, food poisoning is no joke. That's
Thank you.
yeah. So yeah, we got Johnny Floyd third. I don't think he usually does interviews. Is he here though? Because if he was, that could be cool. No, I don't think so. Then I guess you got Fed Me then. P4, I believe you still keep the championship lead, even though you might lose some points, but still a very hard fought race. So yeah, what do you think?
But that was something. Like Flick said, I came underprepared, and I mean, you could see that. I mean, I know we all know I'm not a quali man, but like not even making it to Q2, and then just somehow being in the pack for P3 at some point, then just completely got smoked by Johnny's strategy on the soft. And yeah, I was left to fight for the pieces of P4 with F1 Fan and Ludwig, and I managed, I think, to get a clean and smart play in the final stint, and the final corner got good traction, and we just beat the F1 Fan on the line. I'm happy because usually it goes the other way around, but yeah, I mean, overall, for like the practice I did, it was like a surprisingly good race.
All right. So thanks, and so yeah, I'm seeing Johnny Fu here. Uh, oh, okay, nice. So yeah, what an amazing race here. You did that alternate, I guess that alternate strategy. You did something a bit different, and it worked pretty well, as you then had the freshest soft tires and just pass all of them. And so yeah, congrats on the podium. And how do you feel?
Thank you. Well, with the soft strategy, I quite tried it even in practice doing 9 laps of softs because I felt like this track didn't have many slow corners, so it could work, and it did. Yeah, and I was also glad to get that I was able to get rid of the the other guys in the end of my first soft stint. That was like the main achievement there, and I was just able to keep it. Yeah.
All right, so
And
really
by the
nice.
way,
Oh
and
yes,
by the
go.
way, I was quite laggy in the first stint in the wet. Maybe didn't you see anything?
Didn't really see all that much. So I guess it's fine in the end.
Yeah, because I was just trying to survive because on my screen, F1 Fan and Ludwig trailers were just flying all around and I had to avoid everything. Uh, but yeah, great fun.
It's really nice to hear. So yeah, once again, congratulations on the podium. And okay, so next, who could it be? Ludwig's not here. I guess you're gonna have to go to Kubo. And yeah, perhaps a bit of a lonely race here today in P8. But still, after that disastrous qualifying, you managed to pull a nice recovery. So how do you feel?
Yeah, no, it's just a awful weekend. It's not really much more to say to that. Obviously, qualifying, first lap wasn't good enough. Second lap, I really screwed up the bottom left, so there's no more chance to improve. But in the race, got up to eighth in the first like 10 laps or so. Then just that around 1 to 3 seconds, I was always behind Sujuk, and also that pack that formed with Ludwig, Tommy, and the F1 Fan, and there's just not enough consistency there to catch. So yeah, awful race. Felt really shit on pace. The like the bare minimum I could do after that P16 quali, should have done more. And yeah.
All right, so hopefully things can go better than for next week's race. And yes, so next, I guess Yoa will be next. Is he here? Is Yoa here? Yes, he is. Not sure if he's AFK. Yoa. Okay, this is a little awkward. Yeah, maybe he's not exactly here. Okay, so I guess we jump to the next one. Corvid. Uh, is Corvid here?
Hello.
Okay, let me.
Is my audio working? Okay.
Okay, I was seeing I got a little ping from Yoa here, but either way, so here perhaps a bit of an awkward race there. You got some incidents with your teammates.
No, actually, it was fucking disgusting, honestly.
Okay.
Fucking disgusting race. So I think everyone but me started on softs. Didn't work out because of lap 1 rain. I tried to switch onto wets. I misclick, almost end up on hard, so I end up in inters for the entire wet stint, and that like especially didn't help with everyone pushing me off. I think I had maybe like 4 or 5 interactions where I got edged off in like 5 laps, and then I killed Jeru because I have no grip, and he was trying to overtake me at the worst like corner for overtaking on the circuit. And then after that, I just drove like garbage and ended up missing every rain call because the rain never came, and I tried to do my best stretching the mediums to maybe give myself a chance, and it never came. So I don't know. And it just sucks because if I drove any better, we would have beaten Ewa and Nikhil on merit, and instead of having Nikhil like have a controller malfunction on the last lap or some shit, whatever the heck happened to him. And then at Ewa, I was like 3 car lengths off of at the line instead of like being like if I was any faster. But like I had no pace today, unfortunately. Like no consistency, just completely rubbish race, and I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen, really.
Right, very understandable, and hopefully things also go better in the next week. And yeah, so next we go. Is Kalo here? If not, I guess we go with. Yeah, Kalo is not here, so I guess we go then with Ben. So yeah, today we were racing on your track, and yeah, P13, solid results. So how do you feel?
It wasn't a new track; it was my track. So I have a lot of practice here, a lot of experience, and I get absolutely fucked on lap one. So I was 6 seconds down at the start, pretty much. I had to come back, get past the Lynxes. I was sure it was one of the Lynxes. Eurus showed like screenshots that it wasn't him, so fair dues. Polak, I don't know. But someone, you know, the bottom right corner where like it's like the long left-hander. And there's like a wall that sort of comes out a little bit and then just swings into the rest of their track. I was in that wall, like stopped at the start. Um, so it yeah, it was literally just anything that I could come back to. I caught Caddo and Piggy for P12, and then I fucked it on my own. So yeah, I don't know. That's 4 out of 4 races then that I've just like had either no pace or had the pace and just got killed. So I don't know if it's me putting myself in the position or just unlucky or what, but it just sucks. Like when you put so much time into a track, especially if you made it as well. I think this week I've done like 700 laps on the track. So to get P14 out of it after winning like CL and stuff, it just sucks. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just fucking horrible.
All right then. So yeah, hopefully things go better as well for next week, and yeah. So next is gonna be Eurist, as he today races Athena's Pier, and so yeah. Actually, I would say probably a bit of a solid race, and I guess my main question would be if you feel like you're actually getting closer to the rest of the grid, because I kind of feel like you are. So what do you?
Maybe a bit. Was a rough race, both for me and Polak. Polak actually had a really good start. I think he was like P10, P11 in the first few laps, but then kind of screwed up. I screwed up right in lap 1 or 2. I had an incident with Ben that also kind of screwed him up. It kind of punted me, and then when I returned, it kind of threw him off the racing line. Then I fucked up entering the pits and lost position to him as well. And I think by lap 6 I kind of lost it back, and that was basically it. At the end, I ended up being on softs against Polak's hards, and managed to overtake him in the last few laps. Um, yeah, didn't have much pace, but I feel like the consistency was a bit better. Uh, Despite making some stupid mistakes going into the grass, especially in that last fucking corner. in the space where there is no curb for no fucking reason. um, but yeah, it was fine. Looking forward to the next track. Was already looking at it. I feel like it might be a soft, a fast track. Um, so yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, and I guess we can go with your teammate Polak now. And yeah, how do you feel about this race? As yeah, you raced it said you had a bit of a good start, and but yeah, either way, what do you make of this race?
Honestly, I believe that this race have gave a lot of experience to me. It was a good race, honestly. I know I finished last though in P17, which is not ideal, but it's definitely not bad for myself to learn and to advance into the next race weekend. I'm very happy with my race start, managing to sneak into the top 10 and actually have a bit of a squabble with everyone else, having a shot at some serious points, then having after a set of unfortunate events of getting shot or getting shot into the grass or just making myself a mistake dropping back. It was a good race after all. I had also a great fight with my teammate Tourist, and just I'm looking forward to the next race, and just let's hope I will continue to advance and get experience too, get better in the next few races.
All right, so nice to hear, and thanks everyone for the interviews. As now we're gonna essentially end this little European tour, as you're now gonna be traveling to South Korea to race at the Asia Speedium track made by Bituko. So you see you there until the next time, and goodbye.